Clubhouse. So Lauren Whitt is she is the head of uh, resilience she's the global resilience CEO for Google. Who knew there was a position, and why didn't they call me? So Lauren Whitt was interviewed in Inc.com just last week, and I found this article, and I've talked a lot about this article because I really truly enjoyed. First of all, anybody who knows me personally knows I'm an avid tea drinker. I drink probably I drink way too much tea. But I drink a ton of tea, and this article pops up, and my husband, who's really good at finding things that he knows will interest me, sends it to me because he's the one on Flipboard at 3 a.m. And it's T is an acronym. T is an acronym. So she talks about resilience within today's market where a lot of people cannot interact with each other. And T stands for, so follow me on this, the T, okay? The T is to differentiate between helpful and unproductive thinking patterns. So what's working for you, what's not. And, this myself, the market in my industry, everything's shifting so bloody fast. How do we keep ahead of the trends, or at least on target with the trends? And there's, a lot of talk of, when we come out of this, will we be going back to old school, or will we continue in this very kind of hands-off environment? And, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you. But I will tell you that, this being said, you know, uh, taking time for the T. So thoughts. T stands for thoughts. And there's two sayings that Lauren Whitt, who, as I said, is the global director for resilience for Google, says, take time and run this through your head. Today, my mind is, and complete that sentence. Thoughts. To refocus, I need to. So when we think about this is really putting, taking the focus off of that immediate here and now, because sometimes we get so wrapped in the here and now, we become so reactive, we're unable to be proactive. And when you're only reactive, you don't have a choice you don't have the opportunity to start moving forward. When you're only reactive, you don't see the bigger picture. So the T in the acronym is thoughts. Today, my mind is. To refocus, I need to. So write these down and keep these in front of you. Put them on your phone and put some intention. I myself started doing this a few days ago, just applying this T acronym because, I'm shifting my trajectory business wise, and my family is shifting again. Everything is in movement. So, where are my thoughts? Is it easy to get sucked down the rabbit hole and see everybody else further ahead or doing more or anything along those lines? Or do I kind of put the blinders on and say, today I will, and to refocus, I need to. And so that's the T. Then the E, I thought this was interesting. E is around energy. Today, my energy is to change or maintain, I need to. I find this fascinating because it's been very easy during COVID for a lot of us, I say a lot of us, today has, to be drinking a little bit more wine, to create the definition or the distinction or it's 5 o'clock, because we're all working from home. So many of us are working from home. And because we're more isolated, we sit here and go, okay, I need something to identify that it's the end of the day. And a lot of us have gone into that wine or gone into that, a cocktail of some sort. And, one of the things they say is that the alcohol is not good for you. And I know that my behavior, my emotions, my mindset shifts when I'm not getting the right amount of sleep, or I'm not getting that. And we know these are the rules of engagement for being a high productive person. Keep yourself clean, keep yourself active, get enough sleep, drink enough water. These are standard rules of engagement that seems to, for many people, including myself, that have been kind of thrown out, the baby with the bathwater. COVID came and we threw it all out because we needed new ways to cope. But, it's all about how are you going to maintain that energy when there's nobody else to maintain that energy with you, or there's nobody else to be around. So all I can say is that don't look at what everybody else is doing. And I'm saying all this for myself because it's not easy. It's not easy out there. So attention. So we have thoughts, energy, and attention. And the reason for the A is today you become more intentional. That is something that I took out of last week's conference in listening to Colette McDonald, an amazing agent out of Atlanta. And everything she does is with high intention. And she ensures that every step has a return to it. And being intentional is not being uncaring. It is not being selfish. It's not being any of those things. Being intentional means that when you say no to one thing, you're saying yes to another. And I know that as women, we all really struggle with how do we become as accommodating as possible. They'll like us more if we're nicer, if we're more polite, and I think this is just all residual from just being female. This is kind of how we're raised. Kimberly Joe, you're the oldest daughter. Kimberly Joe, ladies don't act that way. Kimberly Joe, wear a dress to church. So I know those are outdated, but that's still that whole concept of, with women, are we actually allowing ourselves to say no? Do we actually allow ourselves to say no without guilt? Or is saying no like being a mother and you just automatically have guilt with it? So attention is to be my best today. I will focus on doing or being ... So you fill in that sentence. Today, to be my best today, I will focus on doing or being. So I know for myself, it's getting really, really high focused and 100% intentional with my time, and saying I only have X amount of time if I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve what I believe that I can achieve. But you don't get the returns if you don't put the time in, if you don't put the work in. It is fascinating because we see this in real estate. So let's put this in real estate terms, which is fascinating. So thoughts. Today my mind is. Are you thinking that today I'm going to go out and find a home to list that suits my client's needs? Because my clients over here have already said, I'm going to move if you can find this. And in the States, I know that the market is far more competitive even than it is here in Calgary. And I know that in Ontario, they're about ready to hit a housing crisis. It is that tight. So there are always people who are sitting there in the back of their head going, I'd move if. So what are you doing to find those ifs? What are you doing to be the solution creator? Or are you sitting and waiting for the internet to provide you an answer? I mean, this is not the Wizard of Oz. We are not going to pull the curtains back and see all of a sudden there's a magician behind there going, here's the answers, and we're going to serve your money on a platter. Being in real estate is a face-to-face business, which has been hard to do with the mask and social distancing. But at the end of the day, we're talking structures. We're talking physical properties. We're talking human beings. Your solutions are not going to be in your computer screen. So what are you doing today? So if you sit here and go, today my mind is feeling a little sad because I have no listings, but I have a past client who would buy something if there was something. Well, you know what? Maybe go out and put some door tags out. Sit down with that past client and say, great, you know what? You said you want to move. Let's talk about this in all seriousness. Give me 3 communities. Give me 3 cities. Where would you like to go? What do you want to do? And let's see if we can create a solution to this. It's amazing how many people will say, yeah, I'd move if I had X amount of dollars, or if I could get my possession. I'd move if I didn't have to worry about replacing the roof or doing any of these things. So it's creating solutions. As real estate agents, you have a couple different types of real estate agents, and it's okay whichever type you are. But if you are a business person where you create the solutions, you create the opportunities, and then you have the salesperson who is probably going to be best suited for a team, because a salesperson is somebody who wants to work with existing inventory or work with existing clients and wants to have a set of rules and wants to have a timetable put in front of them. But if you're a business person in real estate, then act like it. Be a business person. Find the solutions, create the opportunity. Today my energy is in real estate or as an entrepreneur, it is very easy to not put the work in. So I want everybody to do this exercise. And I know most people that I know, and my camera's backwards, so I'm trying to fix my bangs. But I want everybody to do this exercise. Sit down and say, find the number that you want to make a year. I am worth, currently in my state of my business, I am worth. Find your dollar amount, and then break that down. And keep breaking that down all the way down to that 40 hours a week. Find out, what is your value? Well, how do you value your time? Right? Are you worth $144 an hour? Are you worth $98 an hour? Are you worth $250 an hour? What do you want to make? Understanding where you're coming from and where you need to go. Okay, this is not a lottery. We're not doing a scratch and win. I am not offering, I'm not going to sit here and hype you up and say, tomorrow you can make $1 million, even though you're only making, 40 this year. We have to be real about this. It takes time. It took me 6 years to get to that $1 million mark. And you know what? I'm really fucking proud of that, because quite frankly, how many people ever make $1 million in a year? I'm tired of all this garbage out there going, if you only just, 8x, 10x, 50x, whatever it is. The reality is it does take systems. It does take a market that you can work within. And it does take, belief within yourself. And it's okay if it takes 6 years. Because at the end of the day, the majority of the people will never make the kind of money that you can make and that I have made. And it's okay to also say, I need to shift. That's been the hardest challenge I've had over the last few months is watching other people blow past me production wise, knowing that I'm shifting all my energy overwards. So when you do the math, and if you look at it honestly and you say, oh, I guess I only put in 12 hours last week. And that's really easy to get sidetracked as an entrepreneur, as being self-employed. It's really easy to get sidetracked and say, oh, well, I need to get this done in order to do that. And I need to get that done in order to do this. And we put all this in our place and we wonder why. Well, I only did 8 hours of work last week. So maybe I'm not going to hit that 130,000. If your goal is 130, 150, whatever that goal is, which is very realistic in real estate if you're truly working full time. So just, be honest. Be honest. I hear people whine and complain that they don't have business. Heck, to be very frank and be full transparency, my husband was whining and complaining about 4 weeks ago. And I said, well, have you called everybody over the last 3 years that in this craptastic economy in Calgary did not sell, and let them know that now is the time to sell if they still are interested in selling? He goes, well, no. Well, out of all those people he called, literally 70%. We got 7 new listings out of those 10, because most of our listings do sell first cycle through. But out of the 10 people that he called, 7 out of 10 said, yeah. And then as soon as that happened, as soon as you start getting busy, guess what happens? Then your relocation company calls and says, by the way, we're moving this person. We know we only placed them there two years ago, but we're moving them now to another part of the country. We need you to sell his property. We need to move this person there. So all of a sudden, energy begets energy. You start putting it out. You start coming up with the solutions yourself. You start putting the time in, and based on the revenue creation that you believe you deserve. And all of a sudden, it really does. It's I'm not a magician. I'm not anything along those lines. I just know that hard work and being in tune with your clients is the key to winning anything. And attention. I think this could be actually the greatest challenge for all of us, because everybody's looking for a shortcut, including myself. I have a real resistance to social media because I feel like I have to have my makeup done. Everything has to be done. And I don't tend to put makeup on unless I'm leaving the house. And so working from home has been a whole new kettle of fish for me. But I put every issue in front of diving into this whole social media scenario, because social media is a part. It's no different than when I first started in real estate and I would run an ad in the Herald, the Herald newspaper, or I would have a spot on. We used to have Channel 2 here in Calgary that we would put our listings on. It would run it that way. So that was back before the public MLS, so everybody could just get a hold of that. But it's very easy to be looking for the simpler solution. Oh, there's got to be something easier out there. There's got to be something I can just do, and all of a sudden it's just going to happen. I'll put a ClickFunnels in. I'll do this. I'll do that. And with the way the world's shifting, a lot of that is sold to us. It is very simple. A lot of it is sold. If you just do this, it will happen. But it's very easy to get distracted into the next shiny object. It's very easy. And you know what? We've got Angela on here. She's been my go-to for branding, I think 15 years now. And she will tell you, I am like a freaking squirrel. It's like I see the next thing, and I see the next thing, and I see the next thing. But the reality is I'm sitting here and I've had some time over the last little while and say, yeah, if I don't give this proper attention, what will happen is it will not grow. It will not come to fruition. It's kind of like children. Your career and children are two in the same thing. If you disregard your children and you don't pay attention, you don't feed it, you don't nurture it, you don't guide it, you don't ground it now and then, it's not going to become what you want it to become. It just won't. And so with those things, I pledged to step on here 20 minutes, 7 a.m., and I'm going to share something on Flipboard that I found. Some days it will be around just, resilience, resilience within life today. And some days it's going to be around business. There's a new article that Inman just came out with that says half of all real estate agents that are in the business today will be out of the business in 5 years. I'm going to read up on that. I'm going to try and find out what's going on there. And is that something that we're going to see applicable in other businesses? And yes, I will be coming with no makeup, most likely. And this is it. This is the journey. I'm building something big. I'm building something that is going to be a larger platform for all women. So I do think the women that did show up today and at least just hold a space, so I feel like I'm talking to somebody. And you know, I I just think that it's we for those of us who can speak up, we need to speak up because there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to speak up or take their space. And for those of us who can, we need to help hold that space for them and keep it open until they're ready or can speak up. So again, have your tea today. Thoughts, energy, and attention. So what is the thoughts rolling around in your head? Do you have to write them down? Do you have to correct yourself? What is the energy you're going to give those thoughts? And if you already have put the thought out there, it's going to be easier to give energy to positive thoughts than negative thoughts. And then attention. Just staying in line. Don't get distracted by the shiny objects. You know what? You don't get distracted by the lottery tickets or any of that. Invest in yourself and keep focused on yourself and working hard and working honest and ethically. And it all does come together. I do truly believe that. And until Wednesday, I'm Kim Hayden. I am a 22-year veteran of real estate. Sold a ton of houses. I've helped a lot of people move and start their journeys and stop a chapter and start a new chapter. And I've been blessed with a life that's far beyond what I thought I would have as a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old coming from the past that I've come from. And so I'm here to commit to everybody that I will be here. I will do this. I will do this. And as we move forward in the journey, if you have a story, if you have something you'd love to get, my 2 cents on, do send it to me. Right through this medium is fine. And until Wednesday, I am Kim Hayden, and I'm resiliently yours. And I just have to figure out how to turn off the Instagram one. Oh, this.